Hey, hi again. So, little update. The new feature that is going to be available on the new version, upcoming version of ESP-RFID. It's a feature which was purposely made for this tiny board. Actually, this is the old board, and it was made to be used inside of these RFID readers because these readers are the only type that I know which actually by default has some space in the back. To be honest, it usually doesn't come like this. It has some black rubber or something to cover the back, but I removed it. But even if you don't remove it, there's enough space to place this tiny board for the ESP. And as you see, I placed the same board just without any connectors there. And oops, yeah, when you connect it, you can just normally place this on the wall. So what's the feature? As you see, this reader is only powered through this board, and it's just a power cord. There's nothing else connecting it to some other device. So it requires only the power, and the firmware on the board handles everything else. So what's the feature? You can have it in this setup, but on another side, if you place this little shelly board, the shelly box, you can control your door lock. And how it works? Well, this shelly box has a very nice feature. It can be powered by 12 volts DC. And these locks are usually 12 to 16 DC or AC volts. So what you can do is to set this shelly to use your own broker, mqtt broker, and simply send command to open this whenever you find that card with the access right is swiped. And of course, do nothing or just log the event if some card which doesn't have access right is swiped. So here in the firmware, it's going to look like this. Yep. On the hardware, there's going to be a feature, test access, which is going to be to actually simulate card swipe. And as you see here, we have like two users. So this one I'm gonna delete one of those, and the other is going to remain. Okay, let's change the name. I don't like this undefined one. Let's put save it. Yeah. Oh, I didn't record this one. Anyway, so you set that. Obviously, you need to set your Wi-Fi and mqtt settings, and then back here in the shelly setting, as you see, it's not connected on the default cloud, which is provided by Shelly, because you need your own mqtt broker. So you need to set some other settings too, and the key setting is to set the auto off option to whatever you want it to be, or how much you want the lock to be open. So I set it here for 3 seconds, and it means that once I send the command to open to Shelly, it's going to open the lock, and it's going to be opened only for 3 seconds, and it's going off automatically. As you see, now it's open, and back here we can test it. You see, the lock is open. So what I do, I send the same topic from this ESP-RFID. Shelly accepts it and opens the door if it is okay according to access here. So let's test it first. this card, yeah, this was the deleted one, so it doesn't have the access right, and it's just logging the event and doing nothing. And Shelly is of course closed, but I didn't delete this one, so as you see, it's open. And why is this setting important and good? Means that you can place this outside of your office and place this inside of your office. That's the key feature, and in that way you are not you don't need much wiring, and the reader can be exposed. You don't need much space because this Shelly usually can be placed inside of the door frame, and yeah, maybe the only downside is I'm using 2 power supplies, but probably you would be able to share it if you have like better one with like 1 or 2 amperes and 12 volts. Anyway, so you can also use this ESP-RFID board for this purpose, but then you wouldn't need the relay, which is also available here. Just to promote it a little bit, you can also purchase this board with this acrylic enclosure, which is also nice. But the brain of everything is new version of firmware, which is going to be available very soon. So that's about it. Test it one more time. Oops. As you see, this little board is also available on Tindy, so you can go buy one. It's quite cheap. It handles the power for the ESP and these RFID readers, which are usually 12 volts. So it accepts 12 volts, powers the ESP and powers the reader. And there's also one more feature which is going to be implemented soon, but I don't have it now for demonstration. This button here is just a stupid switch. And I'm going to implement once you press this, that you can control the ring inside of your office. So once you press this to send mqtt message, to short circuit some relay, and to open the ring. I don't have it right now, but I'll make it, and of course I'm gonna make the video about that one. That's going to be even more interesting, because then with this reader basically you would be able to send messages to open not only the lock but also to make a ring somewhere in your office. It doesn't need to be near the door, so somewhere else. It can be positioned wherever you need it to be positioned, and so on. That's about it. Thank you very much.